Hey, this is Danielle from Black Business Boom, and I am here with Brandee Harrington from My Coinz Journal. And I am really excited. I think what Brandee is doing is so amazing and is so needed in our community, especially right now. Thank you so much for joining me, Brandee. How are you?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I do appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
Absolutely. So let's jump on in. Tell us, what is My Coinz Journal?
Okay, so the My Coinz Journal is essentially an all-in-one state-of-the-art tool to be able to house all of your information. So if you think about it, Danielle, if something were, let's just say, if something were to happen to you right now, where will your loved ones go? Do they have to go on a scavenger hunt? Do they have to go look underneath your bed? Do they have to? I've literally heard that people are hiding stuff underneath in the freezer.
Oh,
Where do they go? Right? I mean, I know, right? It's crazy, but the reality of it is we have our own organization system, but does that do you any good, or the people that need to find it, how do they access it? So the tool really helps you be able to document all of your stuff in one place.
I love it. I'm going to tell you, I used to be a banker. And so, as a banker, we would have people come in and they're like, I think my father had an account here. I brought my mother here. She used to go in a safe deposit box.
Yes.
There might be some money in a safe deposit box,
See?
or we need to do a small estate. All these things, we don't know where this money is. We don't know where the insurance is. We're finding out, oh, they did have a policy, and all these things. So I think this is just an amazing idea and much needed in our community. Now, tell me, what made you just go ahead and jump out there and create this?
Well, really and truly, what led me to this is really a personal story. I did it when my mother got sick, and I thought that at some point in time, like most people, I was thinking, okay, at some point, my mother, I'll have that talk with her, and I'm going to learn all this information. But unfortunately, it didn't happen like that for me. So it happened in the hospital with a diagnosis, and it was at that point, it was like, oh my goodness,
Mm,
I got to know this stuff because now I'm the only girl.
mhm.
So, and
Gotta
it's
take care of everything.
exactly. So everything so I literally had to become my mother's voice suddenly. And when I realized that I said, okay, well, all right, she's going to have to be in hospital for a while, I have to pay the bills, but I don't know anything. And that is what led me to start doing and actually composing the My Coins Journal. So,
I love that story. I'm sorry to hear about your mom, but I think that we have to be transparent in talking about these experiences that drive us to create, and because most of the time we create out of some sort of pain, that we've personally experienced, and there's someone listening that has experienced that same thing or something very close to, and if you haven't already, it can happen, and I think that this year we're seeing it can happen, when
a
you
lot of people,
never would have thought,
yes.
I've had several friends that have actually lost parents this year, and
Mm.
they never would have thought that their 50s and 60-year-old parents would be gone. So, but I think it's important to note that even people who are much younger,
Yeah,
like myself, how important it is for us to have our stuff documented, because you just never know what may happen.
exactly.
So, do you have a particular audience in mind for the journal, or is this really good for anybody?
So two things. Number one, like yourself, I thought about me. I didn't have myself together before this, so I don't want to think people to come on and think, oh, she has it all together. No, I had to go get myself together. But ideally, it's for anyone, but specifically to women, because let's think about it. Women, we everything really is around us in terms of kids are going to ask where's things, your spouse's significant other, they ask you, and again, your significant other and spouses could take care of it financially, but who does it all fall on?
Yep.
Women. And I think as women, we have to know this and be able to create the legacy for our kids and be able to continue to have information and be able to supply them with information, because guess what? At the end of the day, they're the ones that look at us and saying, mommy, mommy, Where is that? And they're socking me right there, right? But they're going to still ask you. So I think we just have to take it upon ourselves to be able to document it for our kids' sake, because everything that we're doing is not necessarily for us. Really, who is it for? It's for your kids, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I really want to make sure that women to stand up and let's just get educated and let's make sure we're leaving the legacies for our children.
I love it. I mean, honestly, I just feel like we're having a conversation just now that a lot of people are not comfortable with having,
Exactly.
and we have to start having these conversations.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, about life insurance, about money, about like we have to
Real
start
estate.
having these conversations. You know, I found out a friend of mine had a friend that passed away from COVID, and he had a family. He was
Mhm.
an entrepreneur. He didn't have health insurance, and so
Mm.
he didn't go to the doctor as soon as he should have because he didn't have health insurance. You know, and I'm like, man, if and the friend of mine who told me about this used to sell insurance, and so
Wow.
it really hurt her. You know, and I'm like, man, if we were just more transparent and having conversations, then you probably would have known, you know, that he didn't have been able to help him or someone would have been able to. So, you know, I just love that you've created a tool that will help us to initiate some of those uncomfortable conversations that we need to have. So tell us just a little bit about what we can expect to get in the journal.
Okay. So to your point earlier, I think the reality of it is we just need to have the conversation. I think we weren't really taught, if you think about it, what we're really taught in school. We're taught about life insurance, where we taught about the value of it, the importance of it. In our community specifically, there's billions with a B of dollars of unclaimed that is in the ground. Who is that doing any good to right now, right? Insurance companies don't want you to know this, but if you don't have that conversation and tell them that you left this, then they're not going to call you up and tell you and knock on your door and say, guess what? We have a policy for you. So we have to be educated on this process. So what the journal will walk you through is, this is the copy of the journal, and it is,
It's a big journal.
yes, it's a big journal.
That's
And
great.
it's super big. And it looks like something you just put on your shelf, right? Who really knows about this, right? But it walks you through that information. To your point, if you have and when you have that bank account information, you was in the banking industry, you would basically come in and you'll see, oh, XYZ banked here. Here's the account number. Here's I can access it because I am a beneficiary. We need to know that if you are not a beneficiary, I don't care if, let's just be honest, May May and mom and we look alike, right? That's my mother. Name was May May, right? If May May was your mother and you all look alike, it doesn't matter because you're not gonna be able to get that money. You
Yep.
can tell them that for it doesn't matter what IDs you have. You can tell them we grew up. You seen me bring my mother. Your name has to be on that account.
Yep.
You have to be educated. If you have an insurance policy, a lot of us do. We work jobs. We've taken out those accounts through the bank. We need to just know that because you're the only one that knows that. And I think the last point to make in this, again, as you walk through this, is safe deposit box. People, I'm a licensed real estate broker. So let me say this. When you call and people who are in the real estate arena, you want to know how we can save the property. Well, did the taxes get paid? And a lot of times it's like, oh, I didn't know they even had the property and this is the taxes. We're not taught that. So Coinz really thinks about everything related to your money, your finances, not just obviously banking, but it really is going to house everything around your finances, your insurance, what these terms are, why this is important. And I'm really teaching people and wanting them to know this. There is so much importance in this particular topic.
I'm so excited to get my journal. Like I'm super excited, so I can just start putting my stuff down. Cause like you said, I mean, I have several life insurance policies. Nobody knows where they are. You know, like they don't know. Nobody knows what company they're with. I just have these policies. I got bank accounts scattered all over different banks, online banks. You know, all kind
Right.
of stuff.
And all that.
Nobody.
And nobody knows. Like you, I was like you. Like, so now I write it down. Even with life and trust and stuff and estate planning, that's a different step. You have to understand. My estate planner looked at my journal. He said, "Ooh, I don't even ask all these questions because it's very detailed. This is the stuff that is super detailed that if written out and once you complete it, you are able to now have a legacy from that person. You have all these great things. You just want to make it easy for them because nobody will be able to tell you and be able to say, Danielle, please tell us, where these answers are, because you're the only one that has it. So the importance is stopping now while we have time, and let's make better usage of our time.
I love it. Well, I am really excited. I really am. Like, I need this, for myself. And I know so many other people who need it. My mother, my grandmother, I don't know where all their stuff is, So I'm like, all right, y'all, we about to get these journals.
Exactly.
We're going to take some time and we're going to just do this because you just never know what's going to happen. Exactly. So tell us where we can get the journal.
Okay, so as you all see on your screen, the www.mycoinz, that's COINZ, journal.com, or over on Amazon. We're going to be rolling out those who are getting these journals. We're going to have a coins planning party. And I mean, it is going to be a party with like no other virtual party you've ever been to, with DJs, giveaways, all kind of things. Because guess what? I understand that this is a conversation that most people don't want to have. And I get it. It's kind of like, what do I really want to talk about? Yes, you want to talk about it. But guess what? We're going to make it so fun that you're not going to even really know that this is not, what we're doing in terms of we're completing it, but we're going to have fun with completing it. So that's coming out really soon for those who get the journal. So definitely follow on Instagram, Facebook, and you stay tuned because this coins planning party is not going to back.
Now tell us how to follow you on Instagram and Facebook. How can we find you?
Okay, so mycoinzjournal.com. We're at all of those handles and we're on Twitter. So we're on Twitter, Facebook, as well as Instagram. But our Facebook and Instagram is where we'll have all of that information about the coins party.
So at My Coinz Journal on?
Yep, My Coinz Journal.
Okay, on Instagram. So make sure you go and follow at My Coinz Journal with a Z, coins with a Z.
Yes.
Right now. Like, go do that right now. And go to Amazon because I know you got Prime. Go ahead right now and order journal right now. We have to support this business, but I mean, really, we need to do this for ourselves. So I'm really excited, and I appreciate you so much for joining me, Brandee, and telling me about this. I look forward to getting my journal and getting to work on getting my stuff in line and in order.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
All right. Have a fantastic day.
All right.